you're both Muslim?
Yeah.
Is that something you've always been from family?
Yeah. That's family. Yeah. So Gambia is actually predominantly Muslim country.
Oh, is that?
I think it's 90 or 95% Muslim.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah. Well, you didn't know?
Not that high.
Go away.
Not that high. Damn.
Yeah, Gambia is a predominantly Muslim country.
Do you say you're Muslim, or you're both Muslim, or do you just say you're Muslim? Because sometimes Christians, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm Christian. I believe in God," but
they're not. No, I think
that is heavy.
I think obviously the reason why sort of people tend to downplay how faithful they are is because of, you know, how being religious is stigmatized.
Yeah.
I'll just put that out there.
Yeah.
Like, if you are a person that holds your faith very highly, you're assumed to be the guy who doesn't want to party.
Yeah.
You're assumed to be the guy who's gonna, you know, end all the, all the fun basically. But essentially, if you're, you know, true to your faith and you know exactly why you're doing it, then it's between you and whoever you believe in. But yeah, it's the times we live in. It's very, very, very difficult to be faithful
tough,
practicing.
It's tough. Man.
No, it is. I remember when I was in like primary school or something, and it's like mad trauma with that. And,
PTSD.
Yeah, and I remember like you'll be in your class with like everyone, and someone will say to me. I remember this one time someone said to me, "Are you Christian?" And obviously, of course, because like I'm a black guy, I'm African. That's like the assumption or expectation that you're Christian. But even at such a young age, just like late primary school, maybe almost year 7, but even at such a young age, I wasn't too sure what that meant. Because before I would just say I'm Christian. Oh yeah, I'm Christian because my family's Christian, whatever. But I wasn't too sure really what that meant, like what it meant to be Christian. Because, you know, when you're younger, I'll be dragged off to church. But because you're dragged off to church, it's not a thing of, I want to go to church.
Exactly.
It's a thing of, Sunday morning, man, I gotta get up to church. So that's what I had. Like, and I remember when, like, there's a period you go through where your mum doesn't drag you up on a Sunday morning to go to church. And when I went through that period, I was like, ooh. Even though it sounds bad, I was like, what? Like,
no, you know,
you gotta go.
Basically, Fajr is like the morning prayer, innit? It's like sunrise.
It's the first prayer of the day.
And it gets bad. Sometimes it's like 3 a.m. And weekend, we just knew our dad was gonna wake us up. We had to be there, innit? And it was like, sometimes you don't look forward to it, man. You just don't want to do it. Like,
I don't know. I feel like it's important to even even a kid who's young. Like, I've learned this through sports. Like, when I started my football coaching thing, I remember my first session football coaching. I was so excited, like, because this is like my first job, like doing something that I'm potentially going to do in the future. And it was coaching kids, and I was shocked at the amount of kids that didn't want to be there. Like, I assumed, my assumption, my expectations before going there was that every single kid here is going to want to play football and they're going to love it. And I got there and some kids were just like, they were not interested at all. They were on the side, they didn't want to be involved. You try to get them involved, they didn't want to be involved. And I learned through that, like, I understand parents want to put them through sports, which is good. It's very important. You put your kids through sports. But like, you don't...
That's what it was.
But you don't like have to put them in a specific thing because you think that's what's good for them.
Exactly.
My advice from the kids I've seen is just throw them in sports, a bunch of sports, and see what they like, see what sticks for them. So that's what I learned. Even for a kid, it's very important that they need to choose things 100%. For themselves. So I said to say, when I was dragged to go to church every day, it didn't feel like something I was choosing to do myself. So it became a thing of, like, it came like a chore. Like, I have to do this every Sunday morning. And some kids maybe at work, some kids, like, they're raised in the church and, you know, it's like their faith is like the best thing for them. So some kids it works, but for me and a lot of people I know, because when you're a kid, a lot of people got dragged to church and they don't go anymore. So for me, it was that kind of thing. Was I felt like this wasn't something that I was able to go and choose for myself. It was something I was forced to do. So when I was in class now and I'm at this age and I'm like, I know I go to church, but I know I don't want to go to church. So I was thinking, like, I always believed in God.
I do believe in God. A conflict.
But in terms of calling myself Christian, I was like, because I know Christians, they pray, you go to church, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, can I call myself a Christian? So that's something I was, even at like 9, 10, 11, I was thinking about, because it was one of the things that I do. So the kid must ask me now, are you Christian? And of course, the natural answer is, yeah, I'm Christian, just to, you know, whatever. But this one time, I went to say, I just thought, because I'm not sure.
Let me be honest.
So let me be honest with myself. And I was like, I didn't say I'm not sure, but because that's not what you say to a kid, like, I'm not sure. But I said, basically, no, I'm not. And the kid was like, oh, you're not a Christian.
Craziest thing you
oh
know.
my gosh.
Oh my
and was saying it bad. And I was like, oh, Usher's not a Christian. I felt like I'd like killed someone in the classroom or something. Like I felt so like.
Wait, this was year 7?
No, this was like
training, innit? Did you say training?
No, it was primary school. So I think it must have been year 6. It was late primary school.
I was gonna say, who asked you in year 6?
No. It was late. It was late. It was primary school. I remember. I don't remember where, but from what I remember, it was primary school.
Usher's not Christian.
But it was such a big thing. Like, oh, Usher's not Christian. It's like the thing when people ask you, where are you from? They don't expect you to say. You're not going to say England.
Never expect.
You know they don't want you to say England.
Right.
Yeah.
But a couple of times, just for fun, you want to be like, oh, I'm English.
Yeah. I'm British.
And they'll be like, oh, cool, but where are you from?
Where you from?
I'm like, so that was the kind of thing. So it was funny to, even now, like, faith is something you're always, a lot of people are battling and trying to find out what it is for them. But it's a path, it's a journey.
It's 100%.
It's a journey. And as I get older, it's only something that I'm realizing now because things aren't coming so easy. A lot of my family is predominantly Christian and heavy in that, but I don't feel like the only thing that keeps me comfortable is I don't feel like when they were my age they were 100% Christian and 100% in their faith. So that makes me feel comfortable that cool, in time,
right?
Because I'm still young, in time when I get older, maybe it'll be a bit clearer for me and I'll find out something.
Yeah.